Hi Lisa, you asked me to do a tutorial about getting your leg back in the hoop when you're leg hooping. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to break it all down for you, and then I'm going to show you some stretches that I think will really help with it. So if you start with the hoop on one leg and give it a nice push, notice how it's coming around. There's a circle. You bring your leg up close to your opposite leg, and then you drop it straight down when the circle is at its fullest. So that's the long and the short of it. For this, you don't have to lift your leg up as high if your hoop is not as high on your leg. If it's down near the knees, you don't have to lift it quite as high. I also find it helpful to lift it and grab it with my hand so I'm not being all wobbling around. So when I'm ready to put it back in, I can. So when you lift your leg out of the hoop, there's a few things you can do with it, but the one that I think I like the best as far as balance is to lift it up, put it in my hand, pull back, take my other hand and pull out, and then when I'm ready to bring my foot back in, return to the center, go straight down, and whichever leg was in there already that's the driving leg, I make sure that that leg stays in front when I come down. So I don't come down in front of it because I don't want to mess up the hoop. So I don't want to come down here, I want to come down here. And you see, no matter what, when you're coming down, you've got this big knee sticking out that gets in the hoop's way. So you've got to wait for the point where the hoop is coming around like this. That's the sweet spot for going up and down. Okay, so some stretches that are good for this are feeling your alignment, feeling all four corners of your right foot, all four corners of your left foot, all four corners of the box that they create together. By four corners, I mean feel your right toe area, feel your right heel area, feel your left toe area, feel your left heel area. Now feel your right toe area and your right heel area. Then feel your left toe area and your left heel area. So then soften your your knees, tighten your abs, tighten your bum, and sink down into your knees just a little bit. Then take your shoulders and roll them forward, up, back some more, and then down. Lift your chin, lift from your heart, lift from the top of your head. This is your most balanced place right here. So now take your attention back down to the floor to your right foot. Feel all four corners of your right foot and move your balance into your hip over your right foot. So you're preparing to fall forward from the heart. Let your arms come up at the same time as your legs go up. Balancing in all four corners of your foot. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and then come back down. So this is with straight arms and straight legs. And we're using a hoop, we're not going to use straight arms and straight legs, but this is helping us develop our strength through our balance points. So do the same thing on the other side. Move your weight into all four corners of that foot. Move your hip over that foot. Prepare to fall forward from the waist while lifting from the leg, taking your arms out and stretching in both directions at the same time. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and then come back down. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time on each side. And when we get into those stretch positions, we're going to spend some time doing 4 bounces before we come down. So find your set position, move all of your weight into your right foot, stretch east and west, and then bend your knee and straighten. 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 Come back down in straight lines. Same thing on the other side. Move your weight into that foot. Let your heart fall forward, your leg lift to the back, and you stretch to the front, and you stretch to the back. Get comfortable in this position, and then bend, straighten. Bend, straighten. Bend, straighten. Bend, straighten. Come back to the center. So the next exercise we're going to do is going to be very similar to that. We're going to move all of our weight, except this is going to be the one that we actually use for when we're hooping. So when we're hooping, I'm going to turn to the front for you for this. So when we're hooping, we're going to be bringing that toe up and as close to the body as we can to keep our balance till we get it up to the knee. And then for this exercise, we're going to put the front of our shin, wherever you can reach it, or the front of your ankle, into your hand. And when you fall forward and your right hand, if you're on your right leg, stretches forward, your left hand is going to ride your left leg and stretch backwards until you reach a point where you're stretching in both directions at the same time. Balance here for a minute. Do this a couple times on each side. And then practice doing this and bouncing. So, ooh! And then when you're ready to come back down, you always pull up from the top, shifting your hips down so that your toe comes to your knee. And when you get to balance, you let your foot come straight back down. So, let's just do that on the other side because we can. So, move all of your weight into your left foot. Let your right foot trail up your knee, and then put it into your shin into your right hand. Lean forward, lean out with your arm, lift your leg, and then push back through your ankle. So you lift your leg first, and then push back through your ankle. When you're ready to come down, you pull up to your knee and go straight down. Whew. Okay, and then the last exercise that I would give you for building up this skill is just to keep practicing that in a repetition to go, let me go, I balance. Up, out, up, down, up, out, up, down, up, out, up, down, up, out, up, down. So that's it. I may not have done the variation on the thing where you go up and put your hand in here and stretch out. I'll do it just so you can see it from the side also with the bounces, or not bounces, the ups and downs is what we'll call it, because it's more controlled. You don't want to bounce. So weight in all four corners of both feet. Grab the ankle. Lean forward while stretching into the front. Once your back leg is lifted, push back from your ankle, and then bounce, 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 bounce. Straighten, knee to the toe to the knee, and straight down. Do the same thing on the other side. Take your toe up your leg, put your shin in the front of your hand, straighten your arm to the front while your knee goes to the back, and then push back with your ankle. Stay here for a moment. And then, come on now. Bounce, 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 bounce. Straighten back up and bring your toe to your knee and take it straight down. Okay, so when you first start putting your foot into your hoop, you might find yourself wanting to push your foot down with your foot out. And you can get it in there that way if your foot's at the very widest. But if you can go ahead from the beginning and start cultivating putting it in there toe first, it's going to look pretty, and it's going to be it might be easier than having to try to break that habit in the future, which is where I am. So let me see. I'm going to see what I can do here. So I utilize both of my legs while I'm hooping. I bend one knee, the other knee, one knee, the other knee. I'm right-handed, so I'm also right-legged. I put my weight in my right leg. I lift up my left leg, put the front of my ankle into my wrist, straighten my arm out. My bottom leg just keeps bounce, 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 bounce. It's almost easier to do this with a hoop than it is without a hoop. I don't know why, but if you do it without a hoop, you'll be able to rock it with a hoop. So another thing that you can do if you're having trouble getting your leg back in is you're out here, just straighten up, put your hand behind you, grab your hoop as you take your foot down and take your hoop up. Get it out of the way. So that's just like a lift from behind. I'll do it from this side. Over, out. Push with my ankle. Straighten, lift from behind, and up. Okay. That was a lot of stuff, but hopefully that will help you.